Hi everybody, and welcome back to another Shearer Smokes. And you join me on the banks of the River Forth, a rather different view. The main city of Stirling is just over my shoulder to the right. And at the top of the video, you would have seen a great shot of the Wallace Monument up there on Abbey Craig. So a different shot, again, of the River Forth. But as I've mentioned before, there's so many great spots along this river. Very much like the River Devon that I go to quite a fair bit. There's always a great spot, no matter where you go. Now Stirling is known as the gateway to the Highlands, and for that reason, I've gone with Peter Stockaby Highland Whisky, a rather tasty blend, and it's smoking really well in my Peterson rusticated tankard. And on a day like today, where there's actually some blue skies and a little bit of sun, there's a little bit of wind kicking about, but the sun has came out this afternoon, which is nice, and I can just feel it warming at the back of me there, so that's rather nice. But yeah, so we're here for part two of a look back to my recent trip. And when I left you last, we were just heading back to the ship to get organised for a night out in Havana, and let me tell you, it didn't disappoint. So a lot of our fellow shipmates had planned to go to the Tropicana, which is of course a world famous Cuban show. I was fortunate on my first visit to go and see the show, and great to hear that it's still going strong. But we decided we were going to do something a bit more local, a bit more Cubanesque, as it were. And again, thanks to our tour guide and driver from earlier in the morning, he gave us a great tip on a place to go. And they were celebrating Havana in the 50s. And included in the ticket was, of course, the live show, a three-course meal, and a selection of free drinks, which was just awesome. And the entertainment was just mind blowing. And what made it even more so was that they were all connected with the Buena Vista Social Club, with a few of them having appeared with the Buena Vista on tour. So it was just fantastic to see them live on stage, and the music, as you can imagine, just stunning. And here's a couple of clips just to give you a little flavour of that. So an amazing night was had. Now, prior to going into the show, we actually arrived rather early, and the doors weren't even open. But we got talking to one of the locals, who promptly took us to a friend of his who ran a bar, and it was just one of those random places that you stumble upon. It was just amazing. What a great welcome we had, and the barman decided to show off his skills, and he made us a couple of what he called super mojitos, and to this day I'm still not 100% sure what went in them. Here's a picture of the bottles that were included. And of course he had the Cuban music going on in the background, and here's a shot of yours truly getting into that Cuban vibe. So a great start to the evening, and the show that we went to was just amazing, and just a great night was had. And coming back through the town, was just amazing. And the shots I'll show you in the early hours of the morning just show the difference of the hustle and bustle from early that morning to the quiet and still of the early hours at the square just opposite San Francisco Port Terminal. And the next morning we were up early and decided to venture out just our two selves, and we did a short walk around the back streets of Havana, and some really interesting shots that I managed to pick up, which I'll share with you now. It was then we decided we would spend our last final hours in Havana at the Hotel Nacional de Cuba. The highlight of the whole trip was spending time at the Nacional and finding that they had their own cigar roller downstairs. And we were able to buy a couple of cigars off them. And we then headed to the garden and enjoyed those with some really nice Cuban coffee. Hi everybody, and welcome back to another Shearer Smokes, and you join me today in the grounds of the Hotel Nacional Havana. And as I sit here enjoying the view, looking out towards the ocean and these magnificent historical surroundings, I can't help but think back to when I first arrived in Cuba 24 years ago. I was due to stay here, but on arrival, I found out that President Castro had taken the hotel over for a meeting of Latin American presidents, and because of that, we were then moved on to other hotels. I was able to come back and have dinner in the Great Ballroom and enjoy a cigar in the Great Cigar Room. Unfortunately, it's closed today. It opens this afternoon, but by that time we'll be back on our ship and heading off to our next destination. So we've been here a day already, and what a day it's been. It's just been totally mind-blowing, and seeing a lot of new um, and experiencing a lot of new experiences, but also bringing back a whole load of memories from my last visit. And just sitting here in the gardens is just it's just amazing. Enjoying a really nice custom rolled cigar which we bought downstairs, and it's pairing up really nicely with some really nice Cuban coffee. Cheers. And after our night last night in the town, um, a really strong coffee is doing just the job. So yeah, sadly it's our last couple of hours here on the island, and I think this has been a great spot to finish off. We did a nice little walk around the city ourselves, just into the back streets to see some of the real Cuba. But now, as I said, it's our last couple of hours, so we're going to sit here and chill, maybe take a stroll through the gardens, and I'll add in some pictures at the end. And we then set sail round about 1 o'clock, 1:30 this afternoon, and we head off to our final destination, Mexico, where we stop off for the day. So very much looking forward to that. I'm going to sit back now enjoy my custom rolled, enjoy the coffee, and most of all, enjoy the scenery. And I hope you've enjoyed some of our Havana highlights. So it was then time to say goodbye to the Nacional and Havana itself. And a short taxi ride took us back to the port terminal where we boarded the ship. And within half an hour, we had set sail. And here's a little video of us leaving Havana port. And you can hear our resident house band on board in the background. And what was nice as we set sail from Havana was to be able to go up to the smoking deck at the back of the ship and just watch Havana disappearing into the background as we enjoyed those Cubans. It was just a tremendous day, and it's going to be something that's going to live with me for forevermore. I think definitely. So I think that's a good spot to finish part two. Again, I hope you've enjoyed this little flavour of Havana, and it's given you a little bit of an insight, and hopefully give you the inclination to go and see it for yourselves. And I can thoroughly recommend that you do that. But for now, I'm just going to sit back and reminisce a little bit longer while the sunshine is still here and enjoy what's left in the bowl. So thanks again for tuning in. Always appreciated. And till next time, part three, when we hit one of the islands just off the coast of Mexico. Hope you can join me for that. But until then, as always, my name's Shearer. Enjoy your smokes.